Paris. It's a movable feast in Ernest Hemingway's memory. It's the perfectly romantic city in the movies. But speaking to anyone having lived in Paris, they will tell you all about the homeless, the strikes, dirty streets, and the rude services. So, is Paris still the movable feast today? You can be the judge after this video. Paris is a patchwork of 20 neighborhoods, each with a unique history. The French call them 20 arrondissements, circled by a ring road, and that is Paris city center. The river Seine runs through the heart of the city, cutting it to the left and right bank. Paris starts from the two islands in the river Seine, Île de la Cité and Île Saint-Louis. The former is the home for Notre Dame, the very center and soul of Paris, while the latter has become a residential area and one of the most luxury ones in Paris. The river Seine is the heart of Paris. Without it, there would not be Paris. Since over 2,000 years ago, the Seine has been a valuable trading route connecting the English Channel to France. Today, many of the city's most famous monuments are sitting along the riverbanks. The left bank represents culture and art. The right bank represents commerce and wealth. On the left bank, you can find the most famous cafe in Paris, Café de Flore, the hub for famous writers and artists back in Paris' golden age. The most cited bookstore, the Shakespeare's Companion, where the movie Before Sunset begins. Latin Quarter, home to Paris universities, and the Eiffel Tower. On the right bank, you can find the world-famous museum, the Louvre, and the world-famous avenue, the Champs-Élysées, leading to Arc de Triomphe. There are so many ways to enjoy the beauty of the river Seine. Take the very touristy way and get on a riverboat, or going with the Parisian way, aimlessly wander along the river on foot. My favorite spot to appreciate the Seine is at the very west end of Île de la Cité. Sit down along the river anywhere to chill, and you'll get a picturesque view. Go for a run along the river and look at Eiffel Tower before sunrise, or stroll along the river at the starry night. When it comes to water, Paris not only has the river Seine, but also Canal, which most tourists will miss. Canal Saint-Martin, on the right bank, dates back to Napoleon time to bring fresh water into the polluted city center. Today, it's a trendy residential neighborhood for the young and wealthy Parisians. Colorful shops and cafes line on both sides of the canal. Locals jog here in the morning and picnic during the weekend. Paris is a city inundated with art, with over 100 museums. While the Louvre is the most famous and most visited, if you're into impressionist paintings like me, then you must visit Musée d'Orsay. The museum is in an abandoned railway station on the left bank. It has the largest collection of the works by Impressionist and Post-Impressionist painters, such as Monet, Degas, Renoir, Cézanne, Seurat, and Van Gogh. The architectures in Paris are a sheer contrast of old and new. On the square of Place de la Bastille, where the Bastille prison once stood, is the July column, reminding people of the French Revolution. West of the July column is another column from Napoleon's time, Column Vendôme, constructed to celebrate the victory of Austerlitz, and the Place de la Concorde, where King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were executed. Going into modern times, the Eiffel Tower challenged people's aesthetic taste at the beginning, but then has become the icon of France. More recently, the industrial-looking Pompidou Center, also known as the Inside Out building, brought people's imagination for buildings to a whole new level. All the systems, lifts, and escalators are on the outside of the building and identified by color code: blue for airflow, yellow for electricity, green for water circuits, red for escalators and lifts. It has become one of the most photographed architectures in Paris. In contrast to the forest of magnificent architectures, it seems Parisians have a special affection for gardens and green space. Gardens are built in between the stones and concrete. Wherever there's a fountain, there are chairs designed for people to sit down and space out. Some of my highly recommended gardens are Jardin du Luxembourg on the left bank, Tuileries Garden between Place de la Concorde and the Louvre, Palais Royal Garden near the Louvre, which appeared in Emily in Paris, Place de Vosges in the lively Marais district, Coulée Vert near Bastille, an elevated linear park similar to the High Line in New York. Paris is a city full of contrast, even though some locals are not as friendly as you wish. Even though the streets and facilities are not always clean, even though you need to stay alert at night by yourself, Paris is still the very romantic city, like in my dream. Quote Ernest Hemingway again. If you're lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you. For Paris is a movable feast.